Rowdy Nation TV, welcome back to the channel. One of the most anticipated fights of the year has finally went down in RYHAD season. It was called The Last Crescendo. That's what they labeled this card as, The Last Crescendo. And a lot of people tuned in for this fight because it was the rematch between light heavyweights ARTUR versus DIMITRY BIVOL for the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world. And it went down, man. Yes, it was a good card. The Last Crescendo definitely was a good card. When I started watching the fight, I caught it with the beginning of Vergil Ortiz versus Madrimov. So that's where we're gonna start. I didn't get to see the other I think it was 4 more fights. I didn't see Callum Smith with Joshua. But we're not going to talk about those fights. We're going to start with the Vergil Ortiz versus Israel Madrimov. Now, that was a good fight, man. That was a good fight. You know, all these fights that I'm talking to you guys about right now, these are all championship fights. These are all championship fights. All belts were on the line. And that's why, you know, they said they were trying to hail this card as the greatest card ever put that we've ever seen in boxing. And I'm pretty sure all my boxing fans who's been around as long as I have, they know that, you know, you're a promoter and that's what you're supposed to do. What I will say, it was a good card, man. And no matter how you feel about Turki Al-Sheikh, he's bringing us some good matches, man. So shouts out to Turki Al-Sheikh and The Last Crescendo. Let's get into it. Now, Vergil Ortiz defeats Israel Madrimov. Now, you guys know Israel Madrimov was the one who welcomed Terrence Crawford to the 154 pound division class, right? And, you know, Vergil Ortiz had the belt. So, you know, Vergil Ortiz had the belt. So, and this is for 154 pounds. So the fight was back and forth, back and forth. I mean, for a minute there, I thought Vergil Ortiz was just really going to take over the fight. And, you know, it was ebb and flows, you know what I'm saying? I haven't seen a whole lot of Vergil Ortiz myself, but he bit down in this fight, man. He really did bite down because Madrimov, he's not no slump. He's not no slump. Like I said, he went the full distance with Terrence Crawford. And I thought that's saying something, man, because Terrence Crawford is the greatest fighter in the world, regardless of, you know, I just have to give him his flowers. He's the greatest fighter in the world of our era right now. So, but Vergil Ortiz bit down. I am not gonna lie. Props out, shouts out to Vergil Ortiz. He's definitely a strong 154. I think he looks better at the 154 weight class, better than he did at 147. And he's calling out. You know, like I said, it was. I don't know how to put it, man. He was just walking him down. He was walking Madrimov down, man. Madrimov couldn't deal with the pressure. Vergil Ortiz is a pressure fighter, bro. He's a pressure fighter. And Madrimov, I thought, you know, when he would get in his bag, he would fight him off, man. But that pressure, you know how they say, pressure busts pipes, man. But he was trying, you know, shouts out to Madrimov, Israel Madrimov, because I thought he was going to be out of there because Vergil Ortiz was walking him down, body shots, man. I say today, body shots is the key to getting people up out of there, man. You gotta, you know, head hunting is cool sometimes, but you gotta hit that body to chop that tree down, man. And them body shots was working on Madrimov, man. But shouts out to Madrimov. He stayed in. It went to a decision, and the scorecards read 117, 111, 115 to 113, and 115 to 113. Yeah, so shouts out to Vergil Ortiz for retaining his WBC World Interim Super Welterweight title. He retains that, and it was a good fight. Israel Madrimov is no slump, and Vergil Ortiz put on a good showing tonight. Now, the next fight that was after that was Carlos Adames versus Khamzat Shiraz. I've never seen Khamzat Shiraz fight before. I've seen Carlos Adames fight. He's from the Dominican Republic, right? Khamzat Shiraz is from Britain, and the zone. I think he is it Matchroom? Is it Matchroom? Queensberry. I think he's with Matchroom. Yeah, he's with Queensberry Matchroom, and you know they're signed with the Sheikh, man. All their fights are over there in Saudi Arabia. He's a Muslim, and you know he's fighting in a Muslim country. Shouts out to Turki Al-Sheikh, you know, and they're pushing this guy really hard. And he came out. and he's a real tall guy, man, for this weight class. He's 6'3". He's 6'3". He's 6'3". And Carlos Adames, man, had the belt, man. And it was for his, like I said, it was for his WBC middleweight title. And, bro, when I tell you that they tried to rob Carlos Adames, I swear to God, man, they tried to rob this kid, bro. And it's a damn shame, man, because shouts out, that's the only problem I had with this card tonight, man. And if anybody who watched this card, get in my comments and let me know if you feel the same way, man. They tried to take Carlos Adames' belt right in front of our face, man. Right in front of our face, man. It was a good fight. The young kid came out, and like I said, Carlos Adames was the champion. And you know what I'm saying? They almost took this man's belt. It was almost about to be a robbery on this card. And before we get into the fight itself, I'm just want to say this. Gervonta Davis is not going to go to Saudi Arabia with decisions like this, man. Especially if he's fighting a back man, like the house man, like Cerise was the house man. That was, you know, even though he was from Britain, he was the house man. Everybody in that arena was going for that Muslim fighter. Nothing against a Muslim fighter, but man, this is fighting. Let's be fair in the boxing game, man. I know it's tribal. I know boxing is very, very tribal, but let's be fair, bro. And they almost pushed this dude to take Carlos Adames' belt. I'm gonna give you the scores before I go into the fight. This was the scores: 115-114 for Hazma Shiraz, 118-110 for Carlos Adames, the champion, and 114. No, I'm sorry, I take that back. 115. Yeah, it was. That's right. 115-114 for Shiraz, 118-110 for Adames, and then the other judge had it 114-114. So it became a split draw. It became a split draw. So he got to keep his belt, man. But this man actually won the belt, man. You can tell. The one judge that went for him that actually got the scores right was 118-110. So how can one judge see the fight 118-110, and I'm sitting right next to you, and you see the fight 115-114 for the other guy, and then the other judge sees it 114-114? It doesn't make sense, man. Make it make sense. Carlos Adames was on that boy's, man, that boy probably had like two or three good rounds. And then the commentating. Oh my God, Sergio, what's Sergio's last name? Sergio Martinez, is that his last name? The boxer, you remember him? Man, he all up on these people's jock, bro. Bad commentating, bro. No bias. He's not biased at all. You can definitely see he might as well have been in the crowd applauding and rooting for Hazma Shiraz. He might as well have been in the crowd, bro. Terrible commentating from that guy, man. Sometimes he's just, man, terrible. But anyway, like I said, man, Carlos Adames was walking this dude down, hitting him with the better shot, the cleaner shots. Man, it was round. Like I said, the dude came out, had a couple, 3-4 good rounds. After that, it was all Carlos Adames, man. And Carlos Adames is probably like about, I don't know, maybe about 5'9", 5'10". This dude was 6'3". 6'3". He was fighting tall for the first 3-4 rounds. But then once Carlos Adames figured him out, it was over with, man. It was just masterful boxing after that. Shakur Stevenson. What can I say about Shakur Stevenson that the people haven't said about him? You know what I mean? Shakur Stevenson defeats Josh Padley by TKO, about ninth round TKO, right? But before we get into the fight, let's break it down. Shakur Stevenson was supposed to fight your boy Kid Austin, Floyd Schofield, right? They said Floyd Schofield pulled out of the fight because he was sick 2 days before the fight was supposed to 2 days before the fight was supposed to be scheduled, right? Now, so they get this guy from England. I think he's from England or somewhere over there. He's from the UK, right? And he comes over. He has a record of, I think, 19-0 or something like that. He was an undefeated fight, Josh Padley. And definitely wasn't in the class of a Stevenson Shakur taking this fight on a 2 days notice. So shouts out to Josh Padley just for that, right? Because he had to get up and fly over there, right? It wasn't like this man was already there. You know what I mean? He had to get up and fly over there and take this fight from one of the supposedly beast of that division, of that 135-pound division, right? And I think a lot of people felt like I felt. You know, after around the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, we started asking ourselves, man, is Steven Shakur in the same caliber class of Gervonta Davis, Keyshawn Davis? He's definitely not in the class of Gervonta Davis. Definitely not in the class of a Gervonta Davis, man. He was hitting this guy, Josh Padley, with some shots, man, that if Gervonta Davis hit that guy with, he would have been out of there. He would have definitely been out of there. And on top of that, don't let me take away from his performance, because it was a masterful performance at the second half of the fight. But if he would have done what he was supposed to do in the first half of the fight, he would have got that dude up out of there, right? He would have got that dude up out of there. You know, body shots, like I said earlier, body shots. You know, he was headhunting for a little bit, and I'm going to tell you something. Within that headhunting, I seen something. I seen something with Shakur Stevenson headhunting. Man, that dude took all the head shots that he could take, man, from Shakur Stevenson. And he did not hurt him at all. He hurt him to the body. But, like I said before, he took all those headshots, and guess what? Shakur Stevenson hurt his left hand. I mean, they call him pillow-fisted, right? They don't call him that for no reason. And I'm telling you what, he's pillow-fisted. He hit that dude, man, and he hurt his left hand, and they talked about it. If you guys watched the fight, you've seen it yourself, right? I think that he's a great fighter. I think that he's one of the most great defensive fighters of this era. But when it comes to Gervonta Davis, I don't think this dude can hold a candle to him. So no, I disagree with Terrence Crawford when he said he know 2 people that can beat Gervonta Davis. You may know one person that might have a chance with Gervonta Davis, but sir, the other person, he doesn't hold a chance. He cannot hang with Gervonta Davis. And that's, first I had some doubts about it, but the more I watch Shakur Stevenson fight, man, it seems like a brother that could be dealing with sometimes like, I hate to say this, man. I don't even want to bring this in because I know mental health is a very serious thing for people, and for people out there dealing with it. Please get help. Please get help if you're dealing with something. Call somebody, or don't never think that you give up on yourself. Never give up on yourself, man. I know that that hey, I didn't say it. Keyshawn Davis said it. Keyshawn Davis said he would never fight Shakur Stevenson because he'd been through him when he was going through his mental health problems. I didn't say it. That's the only reason why I'm saying this, because that's what Keyshawn Davis said. Even Keyshawn Davis said that he used to have some mental problems that he had to deal with. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all have problems in our life sometimes that we have to deal with. But all I'm saying is that I think that his mind ain't even right to fight Gervonta Davis, right? Now, he beat this guy up. He didn't really beat this guy up until like the 8th, 9th round. That's when it all started happening, and that's when he switched and started going to the body. And your boy said it. One of the commentators may say this fight is not going to end until Shakur Stevenson started going to the body. He dropped that guy 3 times in that first round. I mean, in that 9th round. To the body, bam. To the body, bam. 3 times he dropped this guy, right? And guess what? Josh Padley, the little dude, got up and was fighting back. His corner threw in the towel. Man. Shouts out to Shakur Stevenson, man, for doing what he was supposed to do to Josh Padley. Shouts out to Josh Padley for a 2-day notice to jump on that plane to come out here to fight one of the most best defensive fighters of our era, of our generation. Shouts out to both of those guys. And like I said before, I don't know, man. If that fight was ever to materialize with Gervonta Davis, I know who I got. Okay, now Joseph Parker versus Martin Bakole. I've never seen Martin Bakole fight, man. But somebody was saying that he was a beast in the heavyweight division that nobody wanted to fight. Now, if you're a fight fan, we all know Joseph Parker is a beast. If you know, Joseph Parker is one of the best. I would say Joseph Parker is, would you say top 5? I know he's definitely in top 10. So would you say he's in the top 5? Leave me a comment in my comment section if you think Joseph Parker is in the top 5 when it comes to heavyweights. Okay, Joseph Parker, just like the last fight, just like I said before, Martin Bakole was a replacement. He found out about the fight, accepted this fight 2 days ago. You know, it took him 2 days to fly. He's from Congo. He's an African. He's from Congo. But I think he fights out of Scotland. So he had to fly from Scotland all the way to Saudi Arabia, and it took him 2 days. He only found out about the fight 2 days before the fight was scheduled. So he had to basically jump on the plane when he found out about the fight, because it took him, they said, 2 days to get there, take a shower, get dressed, and jump in the ring for a heavyweight interim title shot at the heavyweight belt, right? And he did, man. He came, and it didn't last very long, is all I can say, man. But I definitely like to see this big. This guy's 6'6", 315 pounds. You know, Joseph Parker was 6'4", and I think he came in at 267 pounds. But 6'6", 315 pounds. That is a big man, right? He came in, and like I said, you know, with heavyweights, any one of these shots, if you land any one of these shots, man, it could take you out, man. So there wasn't really much to talk about. They was going back and forth. And it seemed like, you know, in that first round, I would have definitely, because I think he got him out of there in the second round. In that first round, I definitely have to give to Parker, because, you know, he was pressing the action towards dude. But there wasn't really much going on. And like I said before, you know, in the second round, it looked like McCauley was trying to do what he do. They started to engage a little bit more, is what happened. So they started to engage a little bit more, and I was like, okay, it looked like it's starting to heat up. Look like big man can really move for his size. I mean, he's really big, and I was thinking he's kind of like, I don't know if he got any kind of mobility to him, but he does. He does have some mobility. And Joseph Parker was like going at him. And, you know, but then he came back with some punches, and I could tell those punches, he don't even really have to throw hard, man. I can tell those punches were affecting Joseph Parker. But then the next thing you know, they was engaging. Joseph Parker hit him, bow. Hit him, I don't know if it was a left to the side of the face. He shook his head. He shook it off like, man, it didn't even work. Then Joseph Parker threw another punch, pow, that grazed across the top of his head. It didn't even hit the top, like, when y'all, if you watch the fight, y'all seen him when it just like grazed across the top of his head. For a second, it was kind of like a delayed reaction. Then he was like, he stumbled back, and then man, I say it felt like a tree was falling when he fell, like bam. And they threw the towel in, man. I was thinking they probably could have let him. I think they probably could have let him fight, man. But the corner threw the towel in, bro. Maybe they was thinking like, man, he was here on a 2 day notice. 2 days notice, and then he got hit with that shot. I was thinking they was like, man, let's get this money and get up out of here, man. Save our fighter for another day. Because he was hurt, man. It was like on the top of the temple, how he grazed your top, but on the top of the side of your head, yeah, man, he was definitely hurt, bro. Definitely hurt, man. So that fight right there was really, really quick. And like I said before, that fight was supposed to be between Joseph Parker versus Daniel Dubois. That was supposed to be that title fight right there. You know, because Daniel Dubois got a belt. Daniel Dubois has a belt. So I'm not sure what this was about. I'm not sure if they was fighting for another entry belt or whatever. But Daniel Dubois, I know he got a belt. So, you know, I'm not sure how that worked out. Now, like I said before, it's kind of hard though sometimes when you got two fighters in the division. You know, which these two fighters are in the light heavyweight division, right? And you like both fighters, man. You think both fighters are good fighters, right? And it's kind of hard, man, to root. You know, I'm going to be honest, I was going for Bivol. I actually thought Bivol won the first fight. That's just my opinion. I'm not mad at anybody who say that they thought ARTUR BETERBEIV won the first fight. Now, for all my boxing fans who know ARTUR BETERBEIV, you know, he, at the time of the fight, he was 20-0 for the first fight. 20-0 with 20 knockouts, right? 20-0 with 20 knockouts, man. So I thought that, you know, and your boy, he was like, what is, I don't want to get his, I know people get on me. I don't really have his boxing record right here, right now. But I know he was like 21-0, but he didn't have the same, I think he had like 12 or 13 knockouts or something like that. So my expectation was if you got 100% knockout ratio, and then I come in and I fight you, and I'm standing my ground, I'm holding my ground, I'm hitting you, I win the first 5-6 rounds. I win the first 5-6 rounds. I actually thought that Bivol had done too much in the first fight for BETERBEIV to come back. This was totally different. Bivol came out, won the first 2 rounds like it, like it was nothing. Won the first 2 rounds, you can see, no doubt. Here comes ARTUR BETERBEIV. He comes back and wins the next 2 rounds. So it's 4-4 right there. So boom, ARTUR BETERBEIV wins the next 2 more rounds. It's 6-4. 6-4 right there, I would say. That's how my scorecards had it. And then after that, it was, to me, it was all Bivol after that. You know, last time he got a fast start and it seemed like he slowed down and let ARTUR BETERBEIV come back. But this time that didn't happen. The last fight, ARTUR BETERBEIV would try to steal the end. Like Bivol would do all that work at the beginning of the fight in the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the fight, and then the last 30 seconds of the fight, BETERBEIV would come back and steal those rounds and win those rounds. He did that a couple rounds in this fight, but then Bivol seen what he was doing and he stopped that. He stopped that. He wouldn't let him come back in the last 30 seconds and steal those rounds, man. Great fight, man. A lot of feet movement from Bivol. And then, don't get it twisted though, because when he had to stand his ground, he stood his ground. You know, you just can't, I want to say running, because he wasn't running, he was boxing. Because even off the back foot, he was counter punching and landing. He was looking good, man. And I thought he did the same thing in the very, very first fight. So I wasn't surprised. I knew that he could do this. The only thing I was questioning was his stamina. If his stamina was going to be there for the later rounds, it was. And like I said, Bivol, anytime Bivol would hit BETERBEIV, see, BETERBEIV is the type of fighter when you hit him, he wants his get back right away. He wants to come back and hit you back right away. And so I think that Bivol recognized that. He knew that once he got some shit off, boom, he knew old boy was going to come back. And so he countered that too. So that's what made this such a great fight. Back and forth, back and forth. And like they said, it's going to be a number 3, guys. And I'm not even mad about it. Number 3, Turkey Al-Sheikh already said it's going to be a number 3. And BETERBEIV was soft. He tried. They both humble, guys. I like both the guys. He was humble. They both humble. But he said something to him at the end of the fight. I really couldn't hear what he said and pointed his finger at him. Like, yeah, okay, I'm going to get you again. You know what I mean? We got to do it one more time. But like I said, the last crescendo, a great card. Great card. It was a good card. It wasn't the best thing I ever seen in my life, like they was trying to portray it as, you know what I mean? The commentating, they need to do something with Sergio, bro. You showed your hand, man, tonight, bro. Sergio, you showed your hand as a commentator, bro. Stop riding people's jock, man. Call the fights fair, man. Non-biased, man. If you can't do it, bro, you might go sit down in the stand somewhere and buy a ticket and come as a fan. You know what I mean? Rowdy Nation TV, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, so anytime I drop a video, you guys will be notified. We out.